Western Province to benefit from new bill. MSG trade ministers meet in PNG. Calls for more equal business opportunities.
This is National EMTV News with Meriba Tulo.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. This is Wednesday's news. The people of Western Province may now see more benefits reach them directly thanks to a new bill that was passed in Parliament today. The Oktedi Mine Extension 11th Supplemental Agreement Bill is said to improve administrative efficiency. Another bill passed this morning was the APEC PNG 2018 Coordination Authority Bill in preparation for the upcoming Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation meeting.
Unlike the other mines in Papua New Guinea, Oktedi Mine is regulated under a commercial agreement which is then approved by Parliament. The principal agreement was struck in 1976 and over time there have been successive amendments, close to 10, made to the agreement largely due to ownership and the operation of the mine itself. The Oktedi Mine Extension 11th Supplemental Agreement makes 2 amendments to the principal agreement. It will no longer be necessary for OTML to provide copies of all sales contracts for the Prime Minister for his approval prior to the sales. Also, the borrowing limit of the Oktedi Development Foundation is to be increased to 1 million kina. This is in line with keeping with inflation and reflects the cost of projects being carried out by OTDF. Prime Minister Peter O'Neill said the government is working with landowners to conclude a direct shareholding agreement before December. All benefits, including funds held by the state, MRA and other agencies, will be transferred directly to the people of Western Province. Moving on, in 2018, PNG will host the APEC Summit. The APEC PNG 2018 Coordination Authority Bill will help PNG in the preparations towards hosting the meeting professionally and efficiently. Mr. O'Neill said there will be many related meetings, close to 200 of them, between now and 2018. The authority's function is to liaise and consult with relevant government departments and other stakeholders to have a successful outcome. Delhi Bagu, National EMTV News.
The Mohead district in Western Province is now watching free-to-air EMTV. The district is the latest in Western to resume the capturing of the EMTV broadcast signal after a very long time. Under an agreement with the Western Provincial Government, Media New Guinea Limited is installing transmitters in the province, and Mohead is the latest location to switch onto EMTV, with Nomad the next and last for the year. Installation will be in 2 final locations and it will continue next year.
Morehead in the Western Province activated and tuned into EMTV last Sunday afternoon. Western Province Governor Ati Wabiro earlier this year signed off on an agreement with Media New Guinea Limited to secure the transmitting of EMTV's free-to-air service across the Western Province. Mr. Wabiro was determined to ensure that the people of Western Province are kept abreast of all local and international news and current developmental issues. Media New Guinea Limited technicians completed installation of the Mohead transmitter and are now working on installation at Nomad, which will be the last for the year. Next year will see the centres of Suki and Lake Murray activated and tuned in to EMTV. As the television industry moves to high-definition broadcasting, EMTV continues to be the only private free-to-air and soon-to-be fully PNG-owned television station in the country. Neville Choi, National EMTV News.
Trade ministers of Melanesian Spearhead Group members are in PNG for the 2nd MSG Investment Roadshow and Trade Fair. The trade ministers met today to address mutual issues relating to trade between member countries. The meeting was opened by Deputy Prime Minister Grand Chief Leo Dion. Grand Chief Dion told the ministers that as a sub-regional trading bloc, PNG is committed to greater MSG integration and even more trade and investment. However, there needs to be similar commitment and goodwill from other MSG member states. The MSG Investment Symposium will be held tomorrow. The Prime Minister is expected to officially open the trade fair tomorrow evening. Small business ventures in the country must be given the opportunity to grow. This concern was raised in Parliament yesterday by Member for Sumkar, Ken Fairweather, during budget debate. He says there must be equal business opportunities to allow for growth of these small to medium-sized businesses.
It's the best effort a government can do.
Sumkar MP Ken Fairweather told members of Parliament to be grateful for their budget allocation at the district and regional government level. However, he raised concern on the growth of the small to medium enterprises in the country. While he commended the government for promoting the SME in the 2015 budget, he says there are many small businesses that are still marginalized.
They're coming in, they're building infrastructure, and then they're running away. While our companies, who can do infrastructure, if they were big enough, if they were given the opportunity, if they were made to be part of a joint venture or whatever, could help, but they are ignored. And I think the government has to take notice of this.
He says a conducive business environment is needed to allow for the growth of these small companies. Many of these small companies are not allowed to grow and participate in big businesses because opportunities are created to foster the interest of foreign companies. He also wants the government to relook at the tax regime. He believes a flat tax would encourage the growth of these small to medium enterprises.
I'm an advocate of flat tax. Every tax should be the same. Income tax 20%, export tax 20%, import tax 20%, GST 20%, everything 20% or whatever the figure is worked out it should be. That way everybody's simple, and that will promote growth in the company sector. Because right now the companies here are paying 33% or thereabouts tax. And there are only a few companies doing that, and they're screwed all the time while the rest of it run away without paying any.
Mickey Cavera, National EMTV News.
Among members of Parliament who presented their debate on the budget was the member for Goroka, Bire Kimisopa. Mr. Kimisopa wants the budget to be a people's budget. He said the budget must cater for the needs of the people to create opportunities for them to venture into small to medium businesses. It seems that many people are still struggling to make business as they are unable to access credit.
Our people who are running businesses in this country, all employing Blanty Man Merilo Place, they are the social security net of this country in the absence of a social welfare check from the PNG government. Money die, all pay. Coffin box. Married, pay him bright price. Pay him school fee, all pay him. We have to be cognizant of the fact that they are struggling. All pay him harder inside the country blue yumi yet. These are business owners. What is there for them in this budget?
And now let's cross over to Lorraine Genia in Ley for an update of the PNG Games.
Thank you, Mariba. 2 goals in the last 2 minutes saw East Sepik defeat West New Britain 3-0 to see them advance to the soccer semi-finals. Now they await the decider between Morbe and Medang. For this soccer province, Morbe has not received as much support as they would have liked. Soccer fans have been critical about the team's performance and makeup. Also, karate competitions began today after a slight delay with the individual kata performances. Central, Morbe, New Island and NCD dominated the first day, Mariba.
Lorraine, there has been exceptional performances by Team Central. How are they holding up in the medal count?
Mariba, several more gold medals were added this morning in athletics. Now, East New Britain won gold and silver in the men's 800-metre final. Morbe added a few more late yesterday. Now, as it stands, Central leads with 34 gold, 24 silver and 14 bronze. That's 72 medals in total. NCDA in second spot with 29 gold, 32 silver and 23 bronze, while ARLB are in third place with 22 gold, 12 silver and 23 bronze. Morbe are in fourth on 21 gold, 20 silver and 10 bronze, and the Eastern Highlands round out the top 5 with 11 gold, 7 silver and 9 bronze. And that's all for the medal tally. You can follow updates on our MTV Online Facebook page and Twitter. Back to you, Mariba.
Thank you, Lorraine. Among stories after the break, Eastern Highlands Governor Julie Soso joins the opposition. Stay with us for the details. Welcome back to the news. Chief Justice Salamo India today appointed members for leadership tribunals to inquire into allegations of misconduct in office by Northfly MP and Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Boka Kondra. Justice Salatiel Elena Lia has been appointed chairman of the tribunal and senior magistrates Mr. Ignatius Curry and Ms. Rosie Johnson as members. Their appointment follows a request made by the public prosecutor, Pondros Kalwin, to the Chief Justice on the 11th of November under relevant sections of the Organic Law on the duties and responsibilities of leadership. The tribunal will commence its inquiry on Monday, the 15th of December. Eastern Highlands Governor Julie Soso has crossed paths to join the opposition team. Governor Soso's move comes a week after Kandep MP Don Polier, Rai Coast MP James Gao, Kikori MP Mak Maipakai and Lagai Pogara's Nixon Mangape also joined the opposition. Soso said it was a tough and bold decision she had to make. 34 women in Papua New Guinea now have internationally accredited certificates in various practical courses. Training and assessment and automotive mechanical technology were some fields once dominated by men, but now many women are successfully graduating in these courses. The women graduated yesterday at the Australia Pacific Technical College in Port Moresby.
Women in Papua New Guinea have broken the existing cultural barrier, now entering into once male-dominated jobs like pilots, engineers, including welding and fabrication. 34 women graduated with flying colours and will join the industrial sector with knowledge and skills acquired in different fields of automotive mechanical technology, hospitality, training and assessments and children's services. APTC's first female student and tutor in welding and fabrication, Theda Theo, hails from Makam district in Morobe province. She shared her testimony of this barrier-breaking fashion and experience.
Especially, you can see me, I'm a female, and to stand in front of all this my opposite sex could be a really challenging one, but I was lucky enough and also take the challenge as well.
Australian High Commission's Minister Councillor James Hall, as the guest of honour, spoke about the increasing violence against women and used education as the key ingredient for change.
I think it's a good day to stop and pause and have a think about how we can contribute to those white ribbon objectives. And one of the best ways we can do this is by making sure women are PNG educated and have the economic opportunities they deserve.
A survey conducted by Amnesty International in 2013 in PNG revealed that sorcery claims are often used to commit violence against women, but many cases remain unknown, unreported and unattended to. Educational opportunities provided by the government and international donors are perceived as crucial to empower PNG women to escape this dangerous trend. The graduates today now join over 6,500 people who have graduated since the inception of APTC back in 2007. Now, from the graduates, 34 are women who now have Australian accredited qualifications in their respective fields. This also comes to show that education does break down barriers, evidently with the domination of male jobs now being taken up by women. Tokana Hasavi, National EMTV News.
Social media commentators have called on the Papua New Guinea Defence Force hierarchy to be tough on discipline. This comes after a picture of female soldiers in uniform and drinking alcohol was posted on social media site Facebook. It has received widespread criticism from the public on social media, raising concerns of discipline within the force. This is not the first time members of the disciplined forces have been found to be involved in such acts. The Papua New Guinea Defence Force has been silent on the issue. Despite celebrating the International Day of Elimination of Violence Against Women yesterday, women still face abuse. Yesterday, a woman leader in NCD claims she was brutally attacked by 2 police officers at Gordon's over the issue of informal and formal sector vending spots at the Gordon's market. The victim is now calling on the NCD informal market sector to intervene and address this issue and seek justice against those involved in the attack.
Women leader Sana Dokopa was severely attacked and received cuts to the head, body bruises and a swollen jaw. She was attacked by 2 police recruits acting on instructions from a policewoman who is stationed at the Gordon's police post. Sana's attack happened hours after attending the International Day of Elimination of Violence Against Women held at Gerehu, an ordeal she never thought that would happen yesterday when PNG women called on all men to help reduce the rate of violence against mother and girls.
Police come, I'm not like check him. We say them right now, we say them wrong now. One argument na melo. Me want them police marry. All come out lo karta so all kiss him all gun or something na all burkim head blow me.
Sana says a point of argument was over the positioning of informal and formal vendors in the Gordon's market after it was opened on Monday.
Me no argue lo want wrong something. Me go talk lo rights belong all get a informal sector, which is low blend CDC talk or some informal sector no na be go inside. Emi allow one legal group be go inside.
Meanwhile, President of the NCD Women Council, Maria Andrews, expressed disappointment over the actions of the police officers and called for NCD governor and police hierarchy to investigate.
Yet we are trying our very best to minimize this violence against women. But then, government agency, organization, where by providing security lo mipla longenia, come out lo atiki mipla.
She says the fight for girls and women to live in a safe and friendly society is far from over. Jack Lapava Jr., National EMTV News.
The Gordon's police station, meanwhile, has told EMTV that they are aware of the incident, but no formal complaint was lodged. Duty police officers are calling on the victim to come forward and bring necessary information or evidence in relation to the incident. Attempts to get comments from the Gordon station commander were unsuccessful. The National Development Bank subsidiary NDB Investment, under the Stret Pasin Incubation Program, has officially launched the Young Enterprise Scheme, or YES, today. The YES is a youth entrepreneurial development program that features small business training, loan funding and coaching over 24 months, targeting people between the ages of 18 to 30 years. Speaking at the launch this morning at the Port Moresby National High School, NDBI Chairman Moses Liu said the program will kick off in Port Moresby for 150 young people, followed by other centres in 2015. The program aims to give youth who are currently unemployed or unable to get into tertiary institutions the opportunity to participate in the economy and be self-employed by setting up and running their own businesses. And now a look at the finance news. The Kina closed 10 points lower at 0.3920 US dollars in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your Kina was buying 0.3855 US dollars, 0.4476 Australian dollars, 0.3056 euro and 44.95 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, coffee and cocoa closed higher, copper closed the day unchanged. Palm oil, crude oil and copper all closed lower. And on the stock markets, the Dow Jones closed at 3 points higher, the ASX closed 27 points lower and the All Ordinaries closed 28 points lower. Still to come, a new road connecting West Sepik and Western Provinces and 2 more ships for the Consort Express fleet. Stay with us. Welcome back to National EMTV News. A new road connecting West Sepik and Western Province will be built starting next year. Prime Minister Peter O'Neill announced this in Tabubil. He said the national government's focus is on infrastructure development and one of them is road networks.
As Papua New Guinea's focus on improving infrastructure takes precedence, building and linking more roads is becoming vital for the free-flow of goods and services. Prime Minister Peter O'Neill early this week officiated at the groundbreaking ceremony for the Tabubil Telefomin and Oksapmin road projects. Mr. O'Neill said the national government is focused in building positive change and creating opportunities for Papua New Guineans.
We play working plan, good money now. You go to 1 district, 1 province, 16 money now. In also before. or neglect something of the maintenance floor high school, maintenance floor housing, maintenance floor road, and you must take ownership of those issues. National government in the day and we'll take him yet. No, that.
The national government's responsibility is to ensure citizens benefit from necessary basic services. Investment on road will bring more benefits and open business opportunities, as road infrastructure is a crucial link to economic development.
I think you will finish the groundbreaking now. You know what more groundbreaking, so you must try to finish in the road. You must finish in the road, must work the groundbreaking, that's all. Now you must start him work and finish him work.
Fabian Hakelitz, National EMTV News.
YWAM medical ships, with the assistance of Interoil, have raised over 16 million kina that will help in purchasing a new medical ship, MV Amari. A dinner was held recently sponsored by Interoil to raise funds for the purchase of the ship. Sirabi Namaliu, patron of YWAM in PNG, said he was happy with the result of the fundraising, as the purchasing of the medical vessel will soon be a reality. Chief Executive Officer of Interoil, Dr. Michael Hessian, said this initiative by Interoil is a way for the company to give back to the country and the local community. The MV Amari will be able to access more villages, providing services capacity by more than 500%. Two new programs aimed at developing teachers at primary education level will be launched by the Department of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology this Friday. The two programs are Bachelor of Education in Primary and Diploma in Teaching. The launch follows the government's directive for the department to progress into a better curriculum while being used an exit strategy from the outcome-based education syllabus. The programs will be launched by Prime Minister Peter O'Neill. And that ends the news segment. In the sports lineup, athletics finals, soccer and rugby nines at the PNG Games. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Now we cross live to Lorraine Genia in Leh with some updates on the BSP PNG Games.
It was a disappointing finish for the lone Western Province athlete George Yamak, who didn't complete the men's 800-meter final. Yamak led from the beginning, but collapsed 200 meters away from the finish line. Now East New Britain capitalized, two of its runnings taking out gold and silver.
For those who don't know, George Yamak is the only athlete from Team Western. He traveled to Leh to compete after the Western provincial government announced that it didn't have funds to send a team. From the beginning, George Yamak led with a steady pace, well in front of the other runners. He successfully completed the first lap, but collapsed midway through the second lap. He was a crowd favorite, but unfortunately did not complete the race. Yamak's exit paved way for Team East New Britain and NCD to take lead. Kaminiel Matlaun and Verhani Babob, both East New Britain runners, finished first and second in 1.57 seconds and 1.6 respectively. In the women's 800 meters, 5 times PNG gold medalist Donna Coniel came first, clocking a time of 2.16 seconds.
The other provinces to give me competition, so I have doubt in myself that I cannot do it. They can beat me, but thanks Lord that I made it.
Jubilant scenes at the track for the grade 10 student from Kokopo Secondary.
Oh, it's almost 1.5 years. 1.5 years, but the last 6 months has been a lot of speed work, and because in a race like that, all you have to do is put on the speed. Even though it's a distance race, but you put on the speed, and if people have not been training, to run at a pace, they won't be able to match you, and that's exactly what has happened.
Bethany Harriman, National EMTV Sports, Leh.
New Ireland's Robson Yanambe won gold in the men's high jump, edging out Morobe's Reginald Monaghi in a thrilling finish yesterday afternoon. Both men put on an excellent performance, finishing off at 1.77 meters, while NCD's Cairo Peruka settled for the bronze at 1.71. Robson Yanambe was the silver medalist for the men's high jump in the 2012 PNG Games in Kokopo.
Robson Yanambe was the silver medalist for the men's high jump in the 2012 PNG Games in Kokopo. He got selected from then to be part of Team PNG's train-on squad for the 2015 Pacific Games. The New Ireland youngster was impressive in his jumps, carving his body in flight over the crossbars. Yanambe is a success story of the PNG Games, and he is confident of making it into Team PNG for the South Pacific Games next year.
First PNG Games 2012, I represent Team New Ireland as a mock athlon. I came second lap, so he selected me. Now I'm inside the development squad of PNG.
It was a stiff competition in the men's high jump, with many raw talents taking part in the event. East, West New Britain, Western Highlands, Henga and Simbu were among the provinces that sent amateur athletes to compete against some of PNG's elite high jumpers. For youngster Alan Kitaon from West New Britain, it was his first time to compete at the PNG Games.
First time we take part of high jump, behind big games of PNG Games. Now, we must meet him all some friends. Now, I must take part of PNG Games.
Other promising athletes who finished off at 1.65 meters were East New Britain's Emmanuel Penny, Morobe's Cletus Mosi, and NCD's Poya Vagi. Cairo Peruka from NCD also went down at 1.71 meters, settling for the bronze medal. Morobe's Reginald Monaghi was also upset, finishing below his personal best of 1.83 meters.
I'm not quite happy about it. Probably good. Should do a best, but didn't really jump that high.
Reginald, however, is determined to be part of the development team for the 2015 Pacific Games in Port Moresby. In the women's high jump, a Markham Valley Secondary School student took out the gold medal for Morobe. Sylvester Gawi, National EMTV Sports, Ley.
And in news just in, Morobe has moved up the medal tally to second place with 37 gold medals, while Central maintains first place. And to soccer this morning, West New Britain were going into their quarterfinal matchup with East Sepik, the winner advancing to the men's soccer finals. And in the women's, East New Britain were up against the might of a Madang side, undefeated all tournament.
East New Britain had been a surprise heading in, qualifying second behind Jiwaka, beating Central along the way. But Madang were not tourney favourites for nothing. Dominating all facets of the match, they easily outclassed their island's opponents, scoring 6 goals in the process. West New Britain and East Sepik had their players and coaching staff reprimanded after keeping the referees waiting a full 10 minutes before entering the field. The match finally underway a quarter of an hour behind schedule. West Sepik had their team manager suspended the day before, those thoughts put aside as East Sepik attacked first. The opening goal coming in style. As West New Britain tried, East Sepik relaxed in defense, restricting their opponents to weak shots from distance. East Sepik were almost in again from the first corner of the match. West New Britain tried to slow the game down as they fought to contain East Sepik's pace. West New Britain spending more time without the ball, as their Sepik opponents easily found space behind their defense. A substitution early as the signs were clear that West were in trouble. East Sepik almost in again. The referee whistle saving them embarrassment. The Sepiks upped the ante in the second half, sending more strike power up front in a bid to kill off the game. A chance for West New Britain this time in front with 3 players over the ball. The play cheeky, the finish disappointing. East Sepik was showing a lot more class in attack. Their goalkeeper in form as well, as time began to run out and the pressure began to mount. It was a case of too little too late. West New Britain, with too many unforced errors, they had struggled defensively, forcing too many players in the back line, allowing little momentum going forward. East Sepik, on the other hand, they'll be very, very happy. 2 goals in the final 2 minutes for a 3-0 victory. They will now meet the winner of the match, the big match between Morbe and Madang later on this afternoon. Other results we'll see in the semi-finals. Milne Bay facing off against Manus. Jeremy Moggy, National EMTV Sports, Lay.
And to the finals of Rugby Nines this afternoon, Jawaka showed class despite fielding a young side. They made it into the elimination finals but lost to New Ireland. Terry Alex watched the action.
The unbeaten East New Britain were true to their words, coming out on top with gold in the Nines final playoff this afternoon. They took on Team Central after beating Southern Islands in the elimination finals and edged out NCD in the semi-finals. Central, on the other hand, showed class after going past Team Eastern Islands and New Ireland in the semi-playoff. Central were quick to find the try line, opening the scoreboard, and kept the 2012 Ost Province away to the in-goal area right to the half-time. The boys in maroon and green outfit fought back in the second half and got away with a 14-8 win. NCD walked away with bronze after beating New Ireland Province. New Ireland showed class and a true sportsmanship. Jawaka, Eastern Islands, West New Britain were certainly proud of their achievement to make the finals and no doubt ready to come strong in the next PNG Games in Kimbe. Tere Alex, National EMTV Sports, Lay.
The first day of karate competitions has begun despite a slight delay this morning. The morning started with the individual women's kata competition. New Ireland, Gulf, Morbe and NCD proved the most dominant in the individual competitions. Full contact and point contact fights will be held later in the week. And late last night, 18-year-old Bougainville kickboxer Junior Biruke defeated his much older opponent in a spectacular display of kicks, throwing his Madang opponent off guard in the first elimination round. Bethany Harriman was ringside when the action happened.
It was all entertaining combat. 18-year-old Junior Biruke from the autonomous region of Bougainville came out strong in the first round with spectacular aerial kicks. His older Madang opponent countered with a more grounded approach, but the young Bougainvillian lad was definitely a crowd pleaser as he landed kicks to his opponent's body and head to score very high points. Softly spoken Junior says it's his first time to fight in the PNG Games, and he has been training every day for it. But last night's biggest disappointment were the fighters that got caught out on tactical knockouts. The crowd reacted to the blows in the ring. The Highlands Province fighters were aggressive and proved a handful for the other provinces. Bethany Harriman, National EMTV Sports, Lay.
Well, that's it from the Lay crew. It's back to you in the studio, Mariba.
Thanks, Lorraine. We'll go for a quick break now, and when we return, we'll have international sports headlines. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports, and now we take a look at some NRL action.
Manly players are urging the club to lock in and secure Kieran Foran and Dally Cherry Evans on new deals. Both players come off contract next year, and their Manly teammates say they need the star duo and have a special message to the club.
They know, but if they don't know, yeah, sign them. You just have to make them fit, don't you? If you got the opportunity to sign 2 of the best halves in the competition, you know, and they form such a lethal partnership. And, you know, Kieran will go on. He already has captained New Zealand a number of times, and he'll go on into the future to do the same. And Daly's just shown how valuable of a player he is. He was able to step up in the Four Nations.
Jamie Buhrer was meeting school kids today as the Manly Seagulls announced a new alliance with Healthy Harold, and the team are in the midst of pre-season training, and he says there's a whole new attitude at the club, particularly that of Brett Stewart.
He's been in every day doing his work and doing things that only Brett can do on the field. That makes him such an important part of our team, and he knows that, and he seems ready to go this year. None of that drama that had gone on throughout the year seems to be affecting him at the moment.
Jamie Buhrer is still recovering from an ACL injury he picked up towards the end of the season. He says his rehabilitation is going well and expects to be ready for Game 1 next season.
And that does it for Trukai Sports tonight. Up next, the weather details. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
Taking a look at the weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow. First to the southern region, all centers fine except Popondetta. You can expect a shower or two. To the Momase region now and Leh, you can expect cloudy periods with a high of 31, a minimum of 24. Madang, you can expect few showers, a maximum temperature of 32, minimum of 24. Wewak, you can expect fine weather with a maximum temperature of 31 degrees. And find also in Vanimo with a maximum temperature of 31 degrees. Over to the New Guinea Islands region, mostly fine in Lorengau. You can expect a top of 31 degrees. Keveng, mostly fine as well with a top temperature of 32 degrees. Evening showers expected in Kokopo and Rabaul with a top temperature of 31 degrees. Few showers for Kimbe with a top of 31. And Buka, you can expect showers as well with a top temperature of 31 degrees. To the Highlands region, cloudy then morning fog expected for Mount Hagen. You can expect a top temperature of 26. Showers then fog for Goroka. Showers then fog as well for Kundia with a top temperature of 26 degrees. Cloudy then fog for both Mendi and Wabeg. These two centers have a top temperature of 25 degrees for the next 24 hours. To the small ships forecast, waters of southern PNG Indonesian border through Torres Strait, Daru and Kiwai Islands, eastern and western Milne Bay, seas 1.5 to 2.0 meters. Waters east of Daru to Kiwai Island, Kerma, Yule Island, Samurai Island, Cape Vogel, Wasu Point, Finchafen, including Vitia Strait, CSE Islands, west of Long Island, Madang, Bogia, Wewak, Aitape, Vanimo, northern PNG Indonesian border, New Ireland, New Britain to Bougainville, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. Waters of east of Yule Island, Hood Point, Aroma Coast to Samurai Island, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. And waters of Manus and its western group of islands, seas 0.5 to 1.2 meters. Taking a look at the ocean forecast for Coral Sea, seas moderate with southeast to east winds at 15 to 20 knots. Solomon Seas, seas slight to moderate with southeast to easterly winds at 10 to 20 knots. Seas slight with northeasterly winds at 10 to 15 knots for the Bismarck Sea. And for the Pacific Ocean, seas slight with southeast to southwesterly winds at 10 to 15 knots. And that's how we end National MTV News for tonight. I'm Mary Batulo on behalf of the entire MTV Newsroom. Pleasant viewing. Good night.